You need to make your art faster, and here's why. For my watercolor class, I need to finish this painting, and today is Friday, and I need it done by Monday. I also have to finish 3 different pots by next Saturday, which is basically a week from today. Times like this can be very stressful, but I'm here to tell you that time constraints can actually make you a better artist. Jumping into reason number 1, having time constraints will actually cause you to produce more art. Now, I know that as artists, we always want to create the best and most polished artwork we can every single time, but that also means we spend too much time on art that doesn't matter. If you start creating your art at a faster rate, eventually your skills will catch up. This is the basic idea of quantity over quality. There was an experiment done within a ceramics class which split the class into 2 groups. One group had to make as many vessels as they could, while the other group had to create one perfect pot. The study found that the group that had to create as many objects as possible actually created significantly better work. That is because this group was learning the skills at a faster rate as well as adapting from their mistakes. The group that only had to make one single pot got too strung up on details and perfection that they never truly learned how to adapt or grow skills. Moral of the story? Creating more art will train your brain to solve more problems in a shorter amount of time. This is all from the book Art and Fear, by the way. It's a great read. Reason number 2, you will develop a shorthand or some kind of process that will help you be faster at art. When I started to incorporate these pipe handles onto my pots, I tried to throw the tiny tubes in sections. This led to weak points along the pipes, and it also looked really bad because I couldn't throw every single section exactly the same width and thickness, no matter how hard I tried. I mean, look at this. These look like thick, lumpy sausages with scars all over them. To solve this issue, I started to extrude the handles, which made the process much faster. I developed a quote-unquote shorthand for making my handles. This solved multiple issues, weak points, inconsistency in pipe sizing, and let's be honest, they look way better now. This idea is also prevalent within my plein air process. When I started, I tried to paint everything all at once. This led to issues with atmosphere and having a convincing feeling of depth. Everything felt at the same distance in space. I also had the issue of not finishing paintings in a decent amount of time. They would take upwards of 3 to 4 hours, which makes the paintings feel overworked. So I developed a process. I start with an acrylic layer and then block in shadows with ultramarine blue. I then work background to middle ground to foreground, which made the objects and buildings feel as though they're actually going back in space. You can see how these simple but effective changes can make art a lot easier and less time consuming. Here is one of 3 pots that are finished. Third, being faster will help you especially with life drawing and plein air. Plein air and life drawing have been practiced for centuries. During the Renaissance, there were no cameras, so painters and sculptors had to work from live models and observation only. The issues that arise are lighting conditions throughout the day, weather changing quickly, wind, a model's slight movement. I could keep going forever. This means that in order to capture certain aspects accurately, they had to work quickly before that arm, figure, or cloud changed in position. However, this is not the only reason you should be working quickly while drawing or painting from life. It also makes your work feel alive. You feel the movement of your brush and can actively see your process in the final painting. And that brings me to my next point. The faster you work, the more expressive your art is going to feel. To finish up this watercolor painting, I went upstairs and hung out with my girlfriend Lily. She is an artist as well, so check out her channel and Instagram in the description. As an art student, I have to work fast, and I also have to pick and choose my battles. This painting won. But that's okay, it taught me that I don't like this way of working, and that I hate copying images exactly, detail for detail. This painting turned out pretty loose and expressive in the end though, and that's because I worked quickly. I knew it needed to get done, and I didn't stop for long periods of time and choose my next attack. Instead, I doubled down and intuitively painted. So, you may be wondering, why do I have so many assignments due at one time basically? Well, my painting assignment just happened to fall on next Monday. But my pots, I have to get those done on Saturday, or they won't be fired at all this semester. Because clay takes so long to dry, you have to stop clay production 2 to 4 weeks in advance to ensure that your clay dries out and has time to fire. This really only applies if you're in school or you're at a community center that takes breaks. What this means for me is that I now have to finish 2 pots in the amount of time it takes me to finish only half of one. Yeah, this is gonna be difficult, but that's okay. Creating art should always be difficult. If it's too easy, you are not challenging yourself enough to be a better artist. Number 4, 5 dumbass. Being quick will actually translate that skill across multiple aspects of your life. Also due this week are many online writing assignments. One of the most important things that time constraints has taught me is that the skill is transferred to other areas of work. I'm not encouraging procrastinating your assignments, but having tight deadlines can make you solve those writing issues more creatively. The idea of translation does not stop at homework-related issues either. I now clean my room faster, wash dishes faster, clean the bathroom faster, the list goes on and on. This is all basically from the previous point of working faster helps you develop a process that is repeatable and successful. Thanks for making it this far into the video. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. It will really help out. Also, check out my Instagram where you can see behind the scenes and what I'm working on. Anyways, back to the video. Right now, I am in freak out mode. I went to class yesterday and I figured out that I actually have to get my pots done by Wednesday, which is tomorrow. This is fantastic. I love this. This is like my favorite part of art school. It's just stressing to get everything done. So, yeah, let's go work on that. For the last part of this video, I'd like to talk about some tips and tricks that can help you become a faster artist. The first tip is to time yourself when you make art. Get your timer out and see how fast you can draw, sculpt, or paint something within an hour. I think you'd be pretty surprised at how much can be accomplished in such a short amount of time. My next tip is to really take a look at your process when you make something. Is there an area that could be improved, and is there a way that you could speedline that area? Think about ways you can create the same thing in a shorter amount of time. That sounds obvious, but if you never take the chance to self-reflect, you're never going to know if there is a faster way. Self-reflection is honestly the best skill all around. It applies to nearly everything. Alright, next tip. Study what other artists are doing. If you and another artist are tackling the same problem within a drawing and they are accomplishing things faster than you, take a look at what they're doing and see if you can draw conclusions on what is making them faster. Is it the way they hold the brush? Do they group large shapes together before details? Do they sculpt handles before texturing, and vice versa? Being able to notice another artist's strengths and apply them to your own work is honestly the best way to learn. My last tip is to practice letting go. Not every single artwork you create has to be a masterpiece. Let there be fails. Humans are bound to fail, and you will waste so much time if you are stuck up in one piece because you want it to be perfect. What have I learned from this specific time crunch? I learned that I can create lots of different things at a high quality much faster than I believed. When my professor told me I had to get my pot done on Wednesday, I was pretty certain I wasn't gonna get it done. But I did. And if I just accepted that little voice in my head saying I couldn't do it, I wouldn't, plain as that. This may sound corny, but if you just believe you can do it, you can. Your confidence and attitude changes everything. I also learned the fastest way to detail my pots. Rough texture first, handle second, bricks and moss texture third, and finish with the leaves and cleaning up visible scoring marks. Process makes the biggest difference in speed. Did I finish both my pots? I guess you'll have to wait and see. So, the next time that you're in a time crunch to create something, just remember that you can do it and that it will make you a better artist. Oh, and here's what happened to the other pot.